Namaste, angels. This is the daily reading for Friday and into and through the weekend, June 14th, Flag Day in the United States. So let's get right into it. It's still going to be a Scorpio moon leading into the weekend where there will be a Sagittarius moon and ultimately on Sunday a full pink Sagittarius moon. Sunday, of course, also the feast day of the Trinity and Tupac Shakur's birthday. So a lot of high energy on that day too. All right, let's get into it. This whole week is high energy. All the way through the end of Gemini season. June 21st is the summer solstice. That's how we close it down. Or start the summer off. So 1381, that's the first year we're going to go into. Richard II in England meets leaders of the Peasants' Revolt on Blackheath. The Tower of London is stormed by rebels who enter without resistance. 1645, the Battle of Naseby, Leicestershire, new model army under Oliver Cromwell and Thomas Fairfax, Thomas means twin, beats royalist forces of English King Charles I. I've talked about the royalists before and the royalists and this is the second time, damn it, that I forgot the one that begins with a C. The Cavaliers. I think that's from where the term, like a cavalier attitude, whatnot, I think that's from where it comes. Because these people were really nasty. These Charles I and II people. Anyway, 1821. The Badi VII, king of Senmar, surrenders his throne and realm to Ismail Pasha, general of the Ottoman Empire, bringing the 300-year-old Sudanese kingdom to an end. Oh, wow. 1940, Auschwitz concentration camp opens in Nazi-controlled Poland with Polish POWs, prisoners of war. Approximately 3 million would die within its walls. 1941, Estonia loses 11,000 inhabitants as a consequence of mass deportations into Siberia. And 1982, Argentina surrenders to Great Britain, ending the 74-day Falklands Islands conflict. Did you know U.S. Continental Congress adopts the Stars and Stripes flag designed by Francis Hopkinson, replacing the Grand Union flag? Happened on June 14th in 1777. Famous birthdays: Harriet Beecher Stowe, Che Guevara, Donald Trump, Boy George, and Steffi Graf. Would you believe the first mammal made extinct by human-induced climate change is announced on this day? The Bramble K. melames from Torres Strait is the animal, I guess, that was now extinct. And it happened on June 14th in the year 2016. Famous weddings. 1541, Duke Willem van Gulik of Gerl marries Jean de Albrecht. 1871, Impressionist painter Camille Pissarro, 40, weds Julie Vallée in London. And 1904, ragtime composer Scott Joplin, 35, weds Freddie Alexander, 19, in Arkansas. Famous divorces: actress Lorraine Day, 39, divorces her manager Leo DeRocher, who was 53, and they got divorced due to incompatibility after 12 years of marriage. They finally figured out they were incompatible. 2012, New Orleans Saints coach Sean Payton, 48, divorces Beth Shuey due to conflict of personalities after 20 years of marriage. Why is it taking us so long to figure out that we don't like each other? I mean, I'm not one to talk. I'm just asking the question. I was married a long time, too. Famous deaths: Benedict Arnold, Pierre Charles L'Enfant, Emmeline Pankhurst, John Logie Bayard, George or Jorge Luis Borges, and Henry Mancini. Henry Mancini was really named Enrico Nicola Mancini. He was a composer and a conductor, American, best remembered for his film scores, particularly the Pink Panther theme. You know that dun da 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 da. That's him. Also, Moon River. He's widely regarded as one of the greatest composers in film history. His achievements include 4 Academy Awards. He was born on April 16th, 4-4, in 1924. in Cleveland, which is 7. I thought he had 2 more 4s. In Cleveland, Ohio, USA, and was a rat on the Chinese zodiac and an Aries. He died on June 14th in 1994 at the age of 70 of pancreatic cancer. George Luis Borges was Argentine and a writer. He's regarded as one of the greats of the 20th century literature. He wrote short stories and fantastical films. I don't know what's wrong with me today. And lectures. Some of his most famous works include Ficciones in 1944, The Book of Imaginary Beings in 1967, and The Aleph in 1970. That's very interesting, the names of his books. Anyway, unknown internationally until 1961, when he shared a literary prize with Samuel Beckett, Borges' reputation immediately rose and did much to focus attention on literature from South America. He was born on August 24th in 1899, 999, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and was a virgin. I almost said he was a virgin. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me today. He was a Virgo. He died on June 14th in 1986 at the age of 86. He's got a lot of 14s going too. So June 14, 1986 is another 14, and then he was 86 years old also. It's another 14. The cause was liver cancer, or 5, depending on how you want to look at it. John Logie Bayard, or Bayard, B-A-I-R-D, was Scottish and the inventor of the television. He spent his early working life as an engineer for an electrical power company in his native Scotland before moving south to set up on his own and to build the first television. By 1926, he was able to demonstrate to fellow scientists in his lab the first true television, and would go on to demonstrate other firsts: a televised display between London and Glasgow in 1927 and between London and New York in 1928. He was also the first to show color on a television. He worked with the BBC, where they initially used his television system. However, in 1937, the BBC switched to the Marconi EMI system. He was born on August 14th in 1888 in Helensburgh, Scotland, United Kingdom, and was a Leo. He died on June 14th in 1946 at the age of 57 of a stroke. Emmeline Pankhurst was a suffragette. She was British. The leader of Britain's suffragette movement, who founded the Women's Social and Political Union, WSPW. She founded that in 1903. Seeking to enfranchise women, members of this organization gained notoriety through the militant tactics that they commonly employed to agitate for women's suffrage. Pankhurst defended these actions on the grounds that, quote, "The condition of our sex is so deplorable that it is our duty to break the law in order to call attention to the reasons why we do," end quote. Some degree of success was achieved in 1918 when British women were granted limited suffrage. But it was only in the year of her death, 1928, that women were granted full voting rights. She was born on July 15th in 1858 in Moss Side, Manchester, England, and was a Cancer. She died on June 14th in 1928 at the age of 69 of illness. Pierre Charles L'Enfant was a Washington, D.C. architect. He was French and an architect as well as a civil engineer, best known for designing the layout of the streets of Washington, D.C., the L'Enfant Plan. His name is spelled E-N-L, capital L, hyphen, E-N-F-A-N-T. And he was born on August 2nd in 1754 in Annette, France, and was a Leo. He died on June 14th in 1825 at the age of 70. And Benedict Arnold was a U.S. defector general, an American, a general during the American Revolutionary War. He defected to the British Army and planned to surrender the fortifications at West Point in New York to the British. but the plan was foiled. His name has since become a byword for treason and betrayal in the United States. He was born on January 14th in 1741 in Norwich, Connecticut, USA, and was a Capricorn. He died on June 14th in 1801. So he's another one with the 14s. Born on January 14, 1741. That's a 14 transposed. And died on June 14. Anyway. Steffi Graf was a tennis player. I don't think she plays anymore. Her professional tennis career began at age 13, coached and managed by her father, Peter Graf. She won her first WTA tournament in 1986 and went on to win her first Grand Slam title at the French Open in 1987. In 1988, she achieved a Golden Slam, winning all 4 Grand Slam titles and the Olympic gold medal in Seoul. In total, Graf has won 22, master number 22, Grand Slam singles titles, more than any other woman in the Open era. Her run for 186 weeks as the world's number 1 has not been beaten. Graf is widely regarded as one of the best ever women's tennis players. Her playing style was marked by her strong forehand and her quick footwork. She was born on June 14th in 1969 in Mannheim, Baden-Württemberg, West Germany, and is 49 years old. I guess she'll be 50 tomorrow. A rooster on the Chinese zodiac and a Gemini. Boy George. George Allen O'Dowd is his real name. He's a singer-songwriter, English, lead singer of the new wave band Culture Club. Boy George recorded several global hits such as Karma Chameleon and Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? George is distinguishable for his androgynous appearance and unorthodox fashion choices. Culture Club were at the height of their fame in the 1980s and have sold more than 150 million records worldwide. He was born on June 14th in 1961 in Barnhurst, Kent, England, United Kingdom, and is 57 years old. So I guess he'll be 58 or 13 or 4 or 11, 11, and also happens to be an ox on the Chinese zodiac and a Gemini. Donald Trump is the 45th United States president, as well as a businessman and a television personality. Republican. He's been in office since January 20th of 2017. He was preceded by Barack Obama. He's famous because as a real estate developer and reality television host, he was previously chairman of the Trump Organization and the host of The Apprentice, long expressing an interest in national politics. He announced his run for president of the United States in 2015. Despite a campaign that courted numerous controversies, he was selected as the Republican presidential candidate in July of 2016. After an exceptionally bitter and divisive election campaign, he then went on to beat Hillary Clinton in a huge upset. He must have written this because that's not even true. Hillary Clinton beat him in a huge upset as far as votes by the people. He beat her and won the presidency through electoral college. Don't be confused or mistaken about that. She had something like 3 million more votes than him. That's an upset. Anyway, in doing so, he became one of 5 presidents to lose the popular vote, but to win a majority of the electoral college. Exactly. I don't know why they called it a huge upset, the sentence earlier. And I'm no fan of Hillary Clinton, to be honest with you, but right is right and wrong is wrong. Period. Anyway, he is also the oldest person to be elected president at 70 years. In his first term, Trump issued executive orders to ban travel from certain areas of the world, controversially dismissed FBI Director James Comey, and withdrew the United States from both the Paris Agreement on climate change and the Trans-Pacific Partnership. He also unsuccessfully attempted to repeal Obamacare, but he did pull out a bunch of the coverage and start to mess with people's health. So I don't like the way they're lying here. I think he wrote this or had his people write it. Anyway, His presidency has been involved in numerous controversies, including investigations by a special prosecutor into allegations that his campaign colluded rather, with Russian officials. He was born on June 14th in 1946 in Queens, New York, USA, and is 72 years old. A dog on the Chinese zodiac and a Gemini. Why does Kanye always say he's a dragon like him? It says he's a dog, and I'm supposed to get along well with dogs. Roy is a dog. I think G is a dog too. I gotta remember. I think they're both dogs, or is it D? My ex-husband, my children's father. He might be a dog. Anyway, the way the Chinese zodiac goes, a pig / boar, whatever you want to call it, like myself, and the dog and the horse, I think, are supposed to be like super compatible. Anyway, let's move on to somebody more exciting than Donald Trump, Che Guevara. And they hardly even have anything about him here. This is disgusting. His full name or real name was Ernesto Rafael Guevara de la Serna. And he too was Argentine, a revolutionary. However, he was the poster boy of the revolution and of revolutionism. That's what they have him as famous for here. He was born on June 14th in 1928 in Rosario, Santa Fe, Argentina. And he is a dragon, or was a dragon, on the Chinese zodiac and a Gemini. He died on October 9th in 1967. However, at the age of only 39, he was assassinated. And lastly, Harriet Beecher Stowe, an abolitionist and author. Her most famous work, Uncle Tom's Cabin, was a depiction of life for African Americans under slavery and became influential in the United States. It energized anti-slavery forces in the American North while provoking widespread anger in the South. She was born on June 14th in 1811 in Litchfield, Connecticut, USA, and was a Gemini. Of course, June 14th equals 20 or 11, and 1811 also equals 11. So her birthday is 11/11. She was a Gemini. She died on July 1st in 1896 at the age of 85, which also equals 13/04, 11/11. And she was the last. So, with the dice, we are starting with, it looks like yes, party, and dirty movie. Chris still says yes. Romantic dinner. It's going to be a Friday. It's a good time to go out. And, cocktail also. Cocktail. I may do that tomorrow. Tonight, today is my birthday. I'm recording this, but tonight I'm going to my daughter's school. It's senior awards night, and like where they put all the stuff on display from like their majors and whatnot. So I'll be there. Anyway, we're beginning with the Princess of Winter, who is logical, playful, curious, and undiplomatic. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. An opening to the Prince of Winter, decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. The Prince and the Princess of Winter, they could be some sort of couple, maybe two air signs, maybe one is younger than the other. Could be a parent and child, or a young, youthful couple. They are both Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, or, someone likened to those traits or attributes. Or maybe it's somebody with like double air, like myself. So I'm almost all Gemini and Aquarius. Prince of Winter. And Major Arcana card 19, the Sun. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. Major Arcana card 19, the Sun represents the sign of Sagittarius, which does show up this week, and I told you the Sagittarius full pink moon. Also, the Sun, however, of course, Earth's star, the Sun, the real Sun, rules the sign of Virgo. Well, maybe Virgo's important today. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say Leo. Rules the sign of Leo. When I was trying to say Virgo, I almost said Virgin. Anyway, open to the Three of Springs. Stop to take time to review and to make long-term plans, capitalizing upon your past successes. It's appropriate to pat yourself on the back for all of your accomplishments, but you may also want to have some patience. You need some patience for the next phase to play out. Three of Spring. And it's Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role as you have much wisdom to offer. Major Arcana card for the Emperor represents the planet Mars and the signs of Aries and Scorpio, where the moon is today, the Scorpio moon. This card also about control, like, hopefully you want to have control over yourself. You don't want to relinquish this control to somebody else, but depending upon how it shows up in a spread, sometimes it can be about somebody else, taking control, or you having given them control and you need to take it back. Can also be about an authority, a father, a father figure. For me, it's also often representative of like a married man, or a man that, should be married, like marriage material, a divorcee, a widower, something like that. Overall energy is the Two of Spring. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors, or to expand the number of people who are helping you. Two of Spring, Two of Wands can be about any kind of partnership, friendship, business partnership, but absolutely it can be about romance, romantic couple. And in the tarot, as far as the tarot is concerned, of course, represents divine unions or twin flame relationships. There's two here for the masculine. Oh, there's two here for the feminine. Crowning the masculine is the Seven of Winter. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions, as well as what others might be doing behind your back. Get surrounded by Major Arcana card 20, Renewal or Judgment. It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and to make changes so that you're on the path most divinely suited to you. Forgive what has been without judgment and fearlessly embrace what's to come. And masculine subconscious is the Ace of Summer and the Four of Autumn. So again, remember thinking about something brand new that he wants to do. The Four of Autumn has been showing up all week. I said it relates to a job. It's like you're at a job that you really don't want to be at. You're not really happy in the relationship you're in, the way that it's going. If you don't want to leave it altogether, you do want to change it because it's not working. Or it can be about feeling, like you can't breathe. Like you can't breathe. Like somebody is just like holding you way too close. Or you're doing that to somebody else, holding on way too tightly to them, like you might, lose them or something if you don't. So this is looking definitely for something new, with the Ace of Summer showing up with it. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. With the Major Arcana card Judgment sitting above it, which represents the sign of Scorpio and the planet Pluto, it could have something to do with that water sign in particular. Maybe it's coming to us because of the Scorpio moon. For the feminine, we got our own earth and water, and it's pretty awesome. The Two of Summer. You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationship, marriages, or romantic partnerships in distress. Like maybe this kind that it's mirroring. I remember I said this might be a relationship that's not doing well. Even that can be saved. Even that can be saved. This can also be something with your work, as I've also been saying about the Four of Pentacles, that if it's connected to your job, you're not very happy there, but maybe there's something that you can do to turn that around, to change it, or you can leave for one that'll make you happier. This could be you putting in making a proposal, or somebody making a proposal to you, you putting out an application or something for a new job or a new partnership. Ace of Summer, by the way, also about like, it could be about like a second time around, a second chance, in love or whatever area, as can renewal. And renewal also about abundance that is earned. So something coming your way because you earned it. That could be what somebody is wanting to take, or what you're at risk of not getting yourself, because of your like lack of confidence and maybe some fears and stuff. So just power for it. Surround the feminine, same thing. Power forward. The Nine of Spring. You've worked hard, and what you've created is impressive and worthy of protecting. Annoying challenges may pop up, but don't worry. You'll get through them just as you have in the past. And down here in the feminine subconscious, the Ten of Autumn. Contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and accomplishments of your ancestors. So the feminine just really looks like working hard toward her relationships, or money, job, going after the bag, all that stuff. Just really wanting to be able to take care of her family, and feeling good about that, feeling confident about that, and proud of herself, maybe even, that she's in the footsteps of those that came before her, like the hardworking mother that she had, and the hardworking mother that she had before her. Crowning. Here's the conflict, the Five of Spring. Occasionally, you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. It can also be about taking action and going after something. And maybe sitting next to the Seven of Winter, about taking some sort of risk, right? The action is risky. At the foundation here, Major Arcana card 15, Ego. You may feel that you're trapped in your situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth, and to break free of negative thinking. That may be why then the Four of Pentacles is here, feeling stuck, feeling trapped. Seven of Winter can be that way. There could have been something with the feminine, maybe thinking about money or assets, some sort of worry, but she shouldn't be worried either. And what the masculine's getting into may involve some amount of risk or something, that he should be willing to take, not to be stuck in like fear or whatever in action. And at the heart of the matter, Three of Winter. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. Be careful not to let this conflict get out of hand if it's a conflict that you have with somebody. Yeah, but I think for most it's about taking a risk, going after a dream, and that may mean leaving something or someone behind that makes you feel sad too. You're starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. Major Arcana card 0 is the Fool that we're clarifying that Three of Swords with. And for the Five of Spring, the Eight of Summer. We want to move on from whatever that energy is. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living, so it's time to move on. You may be moving from a situation that isn't working for you. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you're in control. So you don't have to stay in a negative energy. You don't have to allow anyone else to pull you into a negative energy and you remain stuck there or stay there. You can leave. Let's look at the masculine Seven of Winter too. See, it's about conflict. I think in large part, for many, it's about him being conflicted, but there can be, in some cases, conflict with somebody else, maybe specifically a Capricorn or other earth sign, with the Knight of Earth also showing up here. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others too. Don't be a know-it-all also, is what I'm getting about the masculine. if there is a loving, compassionate way that you can do something without all the extra bullshit, leave the extra bullshit out, especially if it involves arguing or gossip or anything like that. We'll take one more for that one. Prince of Summer. A deeply emotional and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet. Things can move very quickly during such whirlwind encounters, so stay balanced and make decisions with both your heart and your intellect. Yeah, don't just go like off half-cocked and willy-nilly and arguing with people, especially if people you care about. But the other side of this is that there may be a masculine who's conflicted, and perhaps in the area of love specifically, not knowing what he should do, being afraid to take that leap of faith. Maybe there was pain and hurt between him and the person that he wants to go after in the past. And so we need to try to move beyond that conflict, and to a place where we weren't necessarily happy with the relationship to one that can be better. Prince of Summer, a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Further advice to the masculine, the Four of Spring. Okay, he can actually be moving perhaps, or, like literally moving, or moving in with somebody, or living with inviting someone to live with him, changing his living condition or living situation in another way. Getting married, deepening a commitment, getting back together with somebody, reuniting with a love. It's time to kick back and to relax and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, and a very happy home life. Whoop. I'm going to drop these today too. I can't talk or hold on to anything. And for the feminine, the Five of Summer. So why the disappointment? Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move onward and upward. I'm feeling that this is more than disappointment. It's like lack of inspiration, lack of motivation, kind of like fear. Again, because here I felt so many things for the feminine, that she wants to be this money maker. She wants to pursue something. Could be with a relationship too. Wants to pursue a relationship maybe with a responsible person, or she's responsible. She wants them to join finances and, to be the kind of parents or grandparents like she had. To keep pushing towards that sort of thing. And with this dreamer, this fool rather, and the Three of Winter, it's kind of like we've had disappointments, we've had sadness, and it's time to take a leap of faith regardless of all of that stuff. Like, no more saying I don't have enough money, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too old, I'm too young. Like the excuses that we come up with, and just do it. I'm getting a just do it from these cards, from a couple of them. Like this too, like maybe we're conflicted, we keep banging our heads against the wall. But again, it's time to move on to something better. And, to stop being disappointed with ourselves unnecessarily. We're disappointed because we haven't done like what we want to do. We haven't started the business we want to do, or into the partnership, And it's this is a just do it. This is a just do it. I will pull the next card though to clarify the Five of Summer. Let's see what it says. It's the World. It's the world. So it's like when you're in this place of disappointment, you want to see an end to the disappointment. You want to see things change. The world shows up. And this is the end game. This is the universe is ready to start easing you out of a situation. And that's kind of what the Prince of Autumn does too, because he's a slow and steady wins the race kind of guy. So it could take some time. We might not be rich tomorrow. We might have to build, What's the next card? It's upright too. It's Major Arcana card 8, Justice. Scales finally being balanced out, So that puts it in our favor. If it was against us before, if we were held back by some sort of toxicity, or we felt like we were chained back, that's gone. And, things are finally, it's an even playing field. It's a fair game now. We can finally make some headway. And that may be, we've got another 5 here, Major Arcana card 5, Unity, or the Hierophant, so that can be toward relationship, that can be toward something we're doing with a company, maybe a larger company, a government situation, some sort of contract, a job, a project, a new business, new home, adding people to our lives, taking people out of our lives, getting with people that we resonate better with. All kind of stuff comes with the Hierophant. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a spiritual path. So all these, can mean all of those things to different people. You may all have a different message, but these cards are representing. I'll just be greedy today. It's more major. Look at all this major arcana. Just to clarify, the Five of Cups, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we had 5, 6, 7. Or the ones that were already out here. Major arcana card 12. The Hangman. So it's another 3 because the World is a 3 too. We got 2 5s and 2 3s here. And we got an 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. We got the 8 with Justice. That's interesting. But Awakening, the Hangman, is about sometimes, again, there's a need for patience because it feels like time has stopped, We're at a standstill. We're not making any headway. We're in limbo. But things are about to get kicking again. So figure out what you want in the meantime. Look at things in a different way and all will make sense. Don't worry if your progress is halted temporarily. Things will soon start moving again. And when they do, we'll be moved out of a difficult situation. Maybe a situation of betrayal, hurt, disappointment in ourselves or other people, that we didn't make the progress we wanted to at a certain time, or there was some sort of toxicity or addiction. But that was before, right? We're going to move beyond that now. It's the end of a career path, project, or a relationship. And that brings feelings that are mixed, or joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. So something better is coming, even if we have to let go of something that we were familiar with, that we're used to, that we were comfortable with. But we weren't really comfortable. We were disappointed that was it. Like, is this it? And that's the same thing that the Eight of Summer, Eight of Cups is. It's like you're searching for something higher, something better. Your soul is searching. And that's why you're conflicted. Like, do I stay put? Do I stay put? Because my soul really wants to soar. It wants to move towards something else. But I'm afraid. Is basically what these cards are saying. New beginning. After a difficult time. New beginning. That's the last upright card. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's daily. I know it's been sort of up and down and all over the place. I was just in the mood to search for answers, and I really looked at every single card they gave me. They're like, you greedy. Some couples might be coming together this weekend too. Maybe some sexy time for some people. All right, enjoy, guys. Namaste.